Okay, so as part of a collaborative effort to preserve the culture and heritage of the Kelabit people, Alena Murang, her cousin Sarah Louise, and their crew went all the way to Bario to shoot Midang.
So if you have a look at that photograph, it's there. We were in Bario village, and 1995, that was the year I embarked on this journey of learning and inheriting song, music, and dance from our Kelabit elders. Not many of our Kelabit elders remember old songs anymore. Our parents' generation, they were the first to leave the rainforest. And our generation, so my cousins and I, we were the first to be born outside of the rainforest, in towns and in cities. And in many ways, we live in dualities, balancing rural and urban lives, traditional Adat and Western cultures, having very dense community values. These are all of my cousins. And I didn't want to choose just Kelabit youth to lead each film department as a selection of ethnicity. That wasn't the case, but for a chance to tell our own stories and as artists to express our shared experiences. It was also very important for us to shoot on the land where the song came from, which is Miri to Sun Beach and in Bario village. This was a huge challenge, and you'll see why later. And this was so important because the physical space, the area of the Kelabit Highlands, we believe impacted our songwriters of the past, our ancestors, and it was the natural environment that inspired them to create. So a few years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, I asked the Pot Ira, "Why do you sing?" She said, "To bring people together." And there was so much love poured into this video. There was so much love. At the end of the shooting, Sarah and I were actually in tears, thanking everybody and just so overwhelmed with the love that surrounded. And we know that everyone who has played a part in this, from the project partners to the crew, to the fashion designers, the dancers, even our travel agent, our friends and family, the Kelabit community and Bario village, we have a vision. We all have a vision that's beyond this music video, and I look forward to continuing this journey with all of you.
And so we were a 6-man team, 4 out of which doubled up as the camera crew, and you all are truly the real heroes of this shoot, and my heart goes out to you. Fabian, who's also the executive producer, as well as the producer, also was the director of photography on this film. So as much as the vision was very much Alena and I's, what you will see later was very much told from the lens of his eyes, and so that is something that that was beyond our wildest expectation. And through his eyes, we saw it come to life. I'd also like to acknowledge our parents, of whom without we would not even have this heritage to speak of. They have taught us in our upbringing, like Alena said, we grew up in the city, she grew up in Kuching, and I grew up in KL, and yet we still feel so close to our roots, and so much so that we would like to pass it on, not just to our own generations that follow, but to everyone that we meet, because it's just something so important to share. And finally, I'd like to appreciate everyone that is here today, because while this is a Kelabit heritage, or while this is a Sarawakian heritage that we speak of, keeping it alive like any other thing cannot be done all on our own or by just one people group. We need to recognize that at the end of the day, it is essentially a Malaysian heritage. And that is why we need to partner with not just our own kind, but come together to preserve it. You know, our team consisted of people from the East and the West, from a wide range of ethnicities in Malaysia coming together. And like Alena said, when she asked the book,
So it was passed to me by Tepo Ira 3 years ago, and she came to me. I was in Bario, and she came to me in the market, and she said, "You sing, right?" I said, "Yeah, kind of." And she said, "Come to my house tomorrow at 9 a.m. and learn how to sing." So I got to her house at 9 a.m. and she already came back from the farm. She put down her produce and she said, I'll be right back. And she came out, she was wearing her beautiful costumes and her hat and her beads. And I was there like rolled out of bed in my track bands. And she said, "What do you want to learn how to sing?" I said, any song that's short, because our songs can last for days and days. So she taught me this song, and it's a song from way back that she learned from her mother learned from grandmother. It's sung from the point of view of a young girl, and she's watching the leaves of the buat kiran tree drying and of the bamboo tree drying in the sun, and she's calling out different names of men who she would like to be introduced to, so they can protect her from the cool wind at night. So this song came from a time of matchmaking and courtship in the pre-Christian times.
And what you saw was, like I was just telling my parents yesterday, I said, in my head when I balik kampung, that's how I see Bario. It's that beautiful to me. And we just wanted to share that with everyone. And the thing about fashion is that fashion too tells stories. And the fact that all these designers were of Sarawakian heritage, we thought that, they have stories to tell too about our culture, about the Sarawakian culture. And so we kind of had a recce to Bario a couple of months before shoot, decided where we wanted to shoot, and then based on that, we looked for designers that could kind of match to those kind of places. And the reason why we chose really strong colors is because, I think strong colors really capture the mood and capture your eye, and it's also a song about matchmaking. It talks about the beauty of a woman, and so we really wanted to accentuate that, and what a better way to do that than with fashion. And the elements of like fire, for example, fire is something that is not uncommon in the kampungs, in the villages. People in Bario use it in their homes. They have fireplaces still to cook sometimes. And so it is when they go into the forest, they start fires to keep themselves safe. All these things are elements of our culture. And so we kind of just wanted to creatively put that into perspective and kind of use elements of that. Even the costumes, even though they seem very contemporary, we kind of merged it with traditional elements. The use of the feathers that they danced with, the use of the hats. The hats are actually sun hats. Because in Bario, their main source of income is through paddy, and so those hats guard them from the sun. And it's not typically in that color blue. It is usually like beige, because it's dried leaves. And what we did was we spray painted them blue, just to give it that, contemporary look and also that stylistic factor. But really, it's just something that everybody would use on a normal day.
Any other questions?
So I work very closely with my other cousin, Joshua Maran, who's put your hand up, Josh. Put your hand up, Josh. So this song was actually, I learned it in 2015, and we recorded and produced and released it in 2016. So it's on Spotify and iTunes. And I think how I work with Josh, we have a great working relationship, I think. I'm not like musically trained. Most of my music teaching has come from the elders, so it's through oral traditions. So I learn a song, and then I go to Josh and I go like, this is the emotion that I want. I want it like, a little bit romantic, a little bit nostalgic, just a little bit seductive, but not too much. And then he kind of translates it into music. One interesting fact is that the percussions for it, we actually made by stamping on rattan mats. So the longhouse floor is covered in rattan mats. And usually when we all dance together, so the whole longhouse, we will dance in a line and we will all stomp like this. So that's what we did for the percussions on this song. Yeah. So everything has a reason and a story,
That's amazing. So that sound was actually designed by stamping in the longhouse.
We brought the longhouse, the rattan mat, to the studio.
Right. Okay. That's amazing, though.
One of the first times I met Sarah was at my album launch in 2016, and I think you said you felt very drawn to the song, and I really wanted to work with Sarah, and it took years now.